Let's see, S. S. Boy, that's not much of a clue. I need to have at least one more letter. Oh, S-H. Okay. Too noisy in here for it to be she. Now that could be darn near anybody. Huh. Well, let's see. I know a lot of she's. Is there more? Sure. Oh yeah, it's my sister's birthday. Now I remember. Huh. Wonder how old she's gonna be. Whoa. I'll be darned. Good for her. So there's that happy birthday banner before we all tore it down and it got burned and stuff. Look at this. This just arrived. Carol and Kirby made that. I suspect actually that Carol made that. And Mary just walked in the door.
Can't see it.
Look at that. Well, so say happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Sherry. This is Benny and Rachel.
Hi, you two. So the camera will go way off. I'll go back behind me, and we'll go around like this, and you can see what's going on, and then I can give a hug.
Hi. How's it going?
Good. Whoa! Hey everybody! Guess who's here?
Oh no!
Surprise!
You're early! Why are you early?
Because I'm bringing my son a credit card. No, I'm not.
Suspect anything?
No, I've been at a funeral.
That's a good excuse you had to bring a credit
Did you tell Ed?
She just walked in and then everybody like seen her and just went surprise.
Fine, I'm doing okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, now I might cry.
Well, now you're gonna have a party.
Yeah, I
How about
guess so.
that?
Happy birthday.
At least you're dressed real nice. Right? Don't have my old thing.
You snuck in on us.
Well, Pete said, Randy needs your credit card. I said, can he call you? Yeah. We've been at a funeral. It's all good. Not at all. Good. Where's Carol? Only Carol. Because you know. Oh, there's Sonia.
Everybody's here.
Everybody's here. Maybe John is here.
Maybe we can have her go out and come back in.
Surprise! You knew about all this.
It was early. We were sitting downstairs waiting.
They're all downstairs having a drink.
Happy birthday!
I see you guys a lot. Surprise! Oh, I think I pushed him to leave the funeral because I thought we had to get tired. We had to go upstairs and downstairs and back upstairs. Goodness, you know about this?
I'd say pretty much everybody in the room knew about it for quite a while.
Oh, well, great.
So what I think we ought to do here, being your younger brother, but as you know, sort of versed in the performance arts, is we're going to put you outside and we're going to have you walk in that door at the right time, or at least in a few minutes.
Okay.
So you can do whatever you want,
Tell
but then
Barbara,
that's
yes,
going to
I'm gonna
happen.
cry.
I think she might like it if you went back out and came back in.
That's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Years, and Bob and I couldn't quite handle it together anymore, so I moved to Cedar Valley and he went somewhere else. Then I met Pete. Life changed then.
So as proof that if something can go wrong or will go wrong, this says it can't record any longer, and I don't know why. It had plenty of card. So if somebody would give me a hand, maybe Rose or Johnny or somebody. Okay, thanks. Here, you're on. You'll have to walk around with this. So this is our new photographer. There, that's Rose. Yes. Hey, yeah. So what do you advertise? Look at that.
I don't
Huh?
even
Yeah.
love, yeah.
Totally. What a good thing to be out behind.
You're in. You're
So
in
you want me
charge.
to like follow next to
Just
you?
yeah,
and-
yeah, I want you to follow next to me and keep doing that for a long time.
Okay. Hi, everybody.
So yeah, go over when she's talking and whoever's next. Come on up.
I think Sonia's next. Yes.
All right, Sonia, let's hear it. Come on.
You gotta go to her.
You must have something to say. I've never seen you without something to say.
Sonia's my good friend. She got us to Baja.
Sherry, you know I hate to talk.
Yeah, but I can do it for you.
I can give you hell all the time, but I can't.
It's Sonia and her husband Paul are the ones that got us all going to Baja. They were going to retire. Paul worked with Gene, and so they were retiring, and a friend told them, you need to go to Los Breles to Verdugo's RV park and just check it out. Well, they did, and they went every year from then on. And they started having Gene and Sandy come down for Thanksgiving for a week or 2 weeks. And then after Gene and Sandy started coming down there, they bought property. Well, then we went down and visited you. Pete and I had a condo in Cabo, and we drove up to visit you and Paul, and you took us to dinner at Tia Lichi's. Remember Tia Lichi's? It's not even there anymore. But anyway, then we bought property there, and you know what? It's just everybody, a lot of these people have been down there. How many people in this room have been to the Baja with us? It's amazing.
Hang on. Keep your hands up for a second here.
Everybody keep your hands
Keep your
up.
hands up.
Keep your hands up.
Maybe you should ask
Wow.
that question. It's easier to see who did it.
Who hasn't been?
Johnny. And Tim.
And me.
Well, we told Tim to get a passport, and he did, but he couldn't come. Johnny won't get the passport. And Stephanie won't leave Whatcom County.
She went down there with Stephanie and Ted.
Oh, yeah, but that's before I knew Stephanie.
First time we went down there. And I've forgotten about that because I haven't been back since.
Well, and Sandy's Aunt Donna was here earlier, and she has been down there too. A lot of these people have been to Baja.
So if we haven't been, you want us to go? Is that what you're saying?
That means you're paying for our flight.
It means you're missing out if you haven't been.
Okay.
Best card partner I ever had, just right over there.
Get up there for him.
Oh,
I'm the one that missed out. I've known Sherry, I'm good friends with her son Randy. We went to school together in Concrete. And that's when I met Sherry one day at that Shell station. And didn't know her very good then, but it wasn't until I moved back into town. I just left town, the Valley for a while, and then when I moved back into town, I got hooked up with Pete and Sherry when they were remodeling their house. And yeah, and here I am still. And I probably worked for most of you guys out there at one time or another. And all my business comes from Pete and Sherry. She's the only person I describe as the salt of the earth. You don't get any better.
Thank you, Tim.
Your raise.
me and Randy had something we wanted to say, but we can't find the piece of paper that had it on there, so.
You better start looking.
I have been.
Is anybody else?
Check your
Not
back
too
pocket.
late.
Don't have any. I wish I would have recited it.
Well, I met Sherry back when my son was a wrestler for Cedar Woolley High School, and she and Pete were one of the old timers that would come and watch all the matches, and they'd all have their spots up against the back where they could lean back and rest, and we, loved them then. And then about 10 years ago, my daughter met Ryan, who is
He got us
Sherry's-
together again.
Yeah, Sherry's grandson, and we were talking, and they're just like, he's like, yeah, my grandparents are Pete and Sherry Kelly, and we're like, well, we know them. And we were lucky enough to be able to go down and stay with them in Mexico too, and had a wonderful time. The best hostess ever. And
And they brought Audrey.
yes.
And Ryan. And Justine.
Yeah, we had a great time.
You came to Mexico.
And she certainly has been a blessing to my family. I know Ryan and Justine think a lot of her, and Justine loves to come and visit and bring Audrey, and Audrey loves to see Grandma Sherry. Yeah. I know they went and had lunch with her last week, and Ryan was mad because he didn't get a burger.
Oh. We didn't have burgers. We didn't have burgers.
But she's been a very salt of the earth is a good word for her. She's always doing stuff for other people. Always in the Eagles and running fundraisers and.
Gave up some of it.
But she's always busy. When we were down in Mexico with them, she had to get up to go to her yoga classes and her aerobic classes, and we were just like, oh my gosh, how do you do it all? But she's 80 and she's doing great.
Still clicking.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Thank you. We knew Ron and Jenny from Wrestling for Joy, but we never missed matches, ever. We followed those kids everywhere they went. The state, if it was in Cheney, fine. If it was in Tacoma, fine. And after we started going to Mexico, we'd go to state wrestling. The next morning, we'd get up, get in our pickup, and drive south to Mexico. Then we bought a house. Then we had to quit going to wrestling. You're on.
Well, any more? Anybody else? Look at that. Yeah, we have a contender.
Hi everyone, I'm Joe. Sherry became my mother through marriage, and I met her when I was 21 years old. And I'm sure she probably regrets it now, but I can remember being about 21 years old. I was in between places to live, and Sherry suggested I come live with them. It wasn't my dad, it was Sherry. And I remember getting drunk on about my 21st birthday, and I woke up and the couch was turned over in the living room, in their living room, and Sherry acted like it was just no big deal. You know, she's the best mother I could ever have, but I love you a lot. I've put those two through hell several times in my life, and Sherry has always loved me, and I love you very much.
Thank you.
You know, I had a brother-in-law who lived with us when I was 22,
And he was 17. And he had just moved out of his home with his mom from high school, from Iowa, came out and lived with us. And I said, I've never been old enough to be mother of a 17-year-old. And I never got old enough to be mother of a 17-year-old or a 21-year-old.
I have something to read to you, Sherry.
Okay.
Did you already get a chance?
I saw it, but I didn't read it.
Okay, I'm gonna turn this.
You want me to hold it for you, Carol?
Turning 80 is nothing to snicker about. Your mind will play tricks on you. Your joints will begin to crunch. You will have butterfingers. Your whatchamacallit won't work. You'll be popping pills like Tic Tacs. You know you will be taking numerous trips to the bathroom. Look for mounds of fun. A hot tamale like you deserves some extra attention on your birthday. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
More? You know you'll wish you did later.
How
Well-
about a picture of you?
Let me come back to the timeline here. These guys were always also putting on skits of different things. There was one, what was that one that Don, I remember Don more than anybody else about where you had a foot washer in the, somewhere in the, how did that go?
I don't know if I can do it or not.
Don and Dick both did monologues, and they were both very good at it. But Don would do the one where he come out and he.
I gotta have a different hat for this.
Careful, Brett, you don't get hurt. You're in character.
Yeah, you're right. Don't get hurt. I don't even remember the story. But Don would put on his logger shirt and his logger pants and suspenders and an old hat and have it down on his head. And he'd come out and he'd say, well, I come to my brother's house in town and I've never been to town before, but they got this thing in the other room where you just go in and wash your feet. And you just take your shoes off, you stick it in there, and you pull the handle, and it just washes your feet right there. So then you dry that foot off and you do the other foot. And then, you know, at the end, you can just pick this thing up and hold it in front of you, and you got a picture frame, and you're standing right in the middle.
You look pretty cute in that hat, by the way.
And I don't think I can do any of Dick's, but he did one about the Chinese laundry and playing football. Do you remember those? Anyway, I don't know them. I can't remember them. Anybody remember
Well, I've always felt that growing up with you, you guys doing that kind of thing has certainly changed my life. For one, my single mother, I'm sure, must have said that if Sherry wanted to stay in band, she would take her bratty little 6-year-old brother with her to band rehearsal at night.
4 years old.
4 years old. So,
when I was in band, and I was chosen to be in the dance band, so we had to practice extra. But the only way I could go was if I took Ranger, and his name at that time was David. And David would go with me to band practice, and in order to practice, we had to shut him up a little bit. So my band director gave a pair of drumsticks, and he was 4.
and he told me an amazing thing. He said, you can go out there in the gymnasium where the bleachers are there, and you can hit the stands with these sticks as hard as you want.
And then Don gave him for Christmas, I think he was 6 at that time, a set of drums.
Oh, wow.
So he has never not been a percussionist. So he still is doing that, even though he's going to turn 70 next year.
No, one more year after that.
I said next year.
Oh, yeah, next year. Yeah,
Next
okay.
year.
I'm getting forgetful.
And he's still doing that stuff.
Well, and that with all the skits and things that Mom did and that you guys did and so forth, really did push me over that. And this was more my brother Don. He was an architect and a builder and an all-around wonderful guy and musician. Yeah, and he also he was a bass player in a band where all the guys in the band, which is called the Saints, it was a Dixieland jazz band, lived together in this big old house together on Capitol Hill. And so to me, it was wonderful to be able to go up there when they would rehearse a few times. But one of the things that hooked me on music was that at some point, somebody made it available that I could go and see, I think at the Blue Banjo, but anyway, there was one of those in Seattle, those steps that kind of go down to the basement, and then you're standing looking in the basement through a window and a door that didn't work. And they had wiped off that window and held me up there as my big brother Don with these other crazy college kids came in through the door playing the Saints Go Marching In, threw a stool and a chair up on the bar, and even with his bass fiddle, I mean, Don's a big guy, he walked on the bar as they were playing. I thought, I want to do that.
We were very proud of our brother Don. He's played in the band called the Saints. He played in the Moonmakers when he was in high school. Then he played in the Saints when he was in college. And my husband and I, at that time was Bob, and when we turned 21, we took my band director to watch Don play. And I was so young and naive, the band director's wife wanted to order wine. Well, I didn't think you could order wine in a tavern. I just told you you had to have beer.
So I decided to put this on today to just say thank you for bringing music to me This is one of the things that I wear when I play Zydeco music, which, by the way, our Zydeco band, Zydeco Explosion, will be opening the concert series on the revetment in Mount Vernon. I believe it's June 14th or 15th, something like that. So whenever the first event is at the Mount Vernon revetment, Thursday night, summer concert series, anyway, that's going to be us. So can I ask you to come up here? I have a couple things I wanted to give you. I know you have a lot of stuff, but I wanted to try to come up with a couple things I didn't know if you had or not. So.
I want to tell you something. I met a guy on the plane on the way home.
Of course you did.
Who was at the opening of the tunnel in Seattle.
There you go.
Okay. He was at the opening of the tunnel in Seattle. And Ranger was at the opening of the tunnel in Seattle because he has an art car. You've probably all seen his Toyota with toys and notes and music and bubbles and lights all over it. Well, this guy who I met, his name is David Douglas, and he somehow runs the Seattle to Portland bicycle race, but he was there with you that day.
Uh-huh, yes he
How about
was.
that?
That's cool.
Can I come out or get out?
Well, you can't, so one of the things I got for you, and I know you probably don't really need this, but it'll be a reminder. I got her a pin that says, "Why grow up?"
All right, I like it. I like it.
It's just like being at the prom again.
This is better than the prom.
And like I said, I know you have a lot of things, but I didn't know if you had a rubber chicken. So that's your rubber chicken.
I won't dare take it home. My dog will eat it.
That could be a good thing. And I also found sitting over here this certificate that said "ancient as dirt," and I'm surprised it had her name on it too. So I thought we should maybe read it. It says, "On the occasion of her 80th birthday, this certificate officially confirms that Sherry Kelly has reached the 80-year mark and is no longer hampered by a youthful lack of anything." To compensate, Sherry is hereby entitled, from this day forth, to use her many abilities gained by helping others, along with her ever-positive life outlook, to overcome all challenges, rather than relying on being a hot blonde and knowing which end of a baton to twirl. She's still got the moves, doesn't she?
We have a teamwork.
Furthermore, Sherry is from now authorized to take naps in mid-sentence and without any prior warning, as well as to reminisce about those bygone times she calls the good old days.
Yeah.
I'll settle for afternoon naps.
So, Barbara, what did you decide about the next event? Are we going to have that?
Cake cutting?
Huh?
Well,
So, Barbara, here's the deal. Barbara put on the Facebook to bring plants, and her plan was to have this be a sort of a quasi gift from Sherry to you, and that she would then she'd put cards on the table. Everybody should have a card in their possession. You'd want to do it, a playing card, yeah, not your wife. And then the idea was to pick a card and have you get one of the plants. So anyway, do you have the cards?
well, I do.
So tell them what your concern is. Here, she has a concern.
Okay. So if everyone can take a look at the plant arrangement that's on the table at that end. Ideally, right there with the balloons. Ideally, there should have been like at least 5 of those, and then some other oddball plants, but that didn't really happen. So my original idea was any larger plants that arrived would go home with Mom to be added to her beautiful yard, which she probably already has done, but that was kind of the idea. So we'll kind of take an inventory and Possibly, if everyone's ready for dessert, maybe we'll do cake next, and we'll sing Ranger's Happy Birthday song.
Okay.
And you'll have to tell us the history on this Happy Birthday song.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
And then we'll kind of do a little inventory on the plant situation. And I do want to mention also the bouquet at the far end of that table, Mom. That is actually Vivian's presence here. Virginia's presence here. Okay.
I wanted to say something about that, but I'm afraid I just cried one.
And so if you brought plants and you thought they were going to Sherry and you really want that to happen, be sure to tell Barbara sometime during the cake thing, and those will be taken out of the mix for that. So everybody got a little piece of paper. You should have, they're around here with some words to a birthday song that we just started doing. A guy named John McCutcheon, a wonderful Hammond dulcimer player, wrote these words. I changed them out just slightly because I think it's nicer. And if you could join me in singing that to Sherry as somebody maybe presents her with the cake. I don't know how do you want that to work, Barbara? It's your...
We have a couple candles on it. And
Oh, light those puppies up, yeah.
We'll light them, and
Yeah.
I'll move this plant, and we'll bring the cake right over to this table and set it right in front of Mom.
Okay, so we'll have a brief intermission until that. Grab your words if you don't have them.
Fire department stand by.
Did you hear your husband's comment?
Well, we went to a funeral of a fireman today.
Oh.
But Burlington, so Wooley's covered.
Okay.
You want to
He's
shake it
probably
for
right. Yeah, but you know, these are the kind of candles we use in Mexico too. There's too many candles on
It's just
it.
an 8 and a 0. Pete, we're saying. 2 candles.
Somebody have a lighter?
Nobody smokes
In
here.
the truck.
That's nice. Oh, nice.
I do out here.
Tim's got it. Yeah.
Tim's got it
We have a
covered.
wayward smoker here.
One timer, this comes in handy, huh?
That's right.
So you should sing it for us once, so
No,
we
well,
know how it goes.
Okay, I'll give you the startup with it.
Wait a minute, I gotta tell you something.
Okay.
On the way home from Mexico, Gene and Sandy drove, and on the way home I called them because Gene celebrated his birthday driving up the Baja.
Oh.
And I told him happy birthday, and Sandy said something, and I said, do you think he wants me to sing happy birthday? And I couldn't believe it, but he said yes. And I sing so bad, I'm not even allowed to sing happy birthday, but this is the song I sang to Gene, and he never asked me to sing again.
And I want to preface this with a story I heard just this morning on NPR. It was a lady someplace had a 5-year-old or a grandson or whoever it was and asked for a cake with 5 candles on it, and or the number 5 on it. And it turned out that they were out of the 5, but the store was proud of what they did because they put 2 2s and a 1 on the 5-year-old's birthday cake. So he had sort of 5 on there. So if you would join me, and here's how it goes. It goes, remind me of the good old days.
Happy birthday.
And then, so let's go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Reminds me of the good old days. Happy birthday to you. You certainly lived some wonderful ways. Happy birthday to you. 80 years and we wish you many more. Health and wealth and friends by the score. So cut the cake and let's eat some more. Happy birthday to you. Did you say happy birthday to Grandma yet?
Sing your special song.
You want to sing your special song? That'd be great.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Grandma Sherry. Happy birthday to you. May Jesus bless you. May Jesus bless you. May guide you and keep you. Happy birthday to you.
You want to tell us us what your wish is?
Absolutely
All
not.
right, that's exactly right.
Okay.
Well, wait, I'm gonna take pictures. Look at Leah, Barry.
Can I take the candles off and I won't spit on the cake?
You're among friends and relatives.
Okay. You ready yet? No. Are you ready? Yeah. I gotta hold my leg.
Right in front of you.
Look up. Look up. Look at somebody. Oh, look at Ian. There you go. I'm looking at Ian.
Okay.
Woo! All right. Now we gotta go cut the cake, huh?
Not you, it's your birthday. Get out.
Okay. My mind is better than usual.
That's for sure.
Hey Sherry, I was worried that you weren't gonna blow them out.
I was too. There was 2 of them.
I'm really bummed Randy wanted to read that.
I'm so sad that it's missing.
Can we have her open all of her other cards and maybe it's in there?
Oh,
I don't know.
I think all of those that were sealed though. I mean, you guys
It wasn't
wouldn't have
sealed, it was just sitting in the envelope.
Yeah.
Her card was sitting on that page.
That one was mine.
And
And
it was
then,
right over there with that stuff on that table.
and was there another one though? Did you see a different one?
I just wonder if
Picked up the
somebody.
one. And I said, I know this is from Barbara. And Randy said, well, we didn't sign it. I said, I know. But I know this is from Barbara.
Well, we have a special one somewhere that Randy wanted to read for you, and now we can't find it.
We'll find it. We'll find it.
A picture of this before his. Okay, so is everyone ready for cake? There actually are a couple of other desserts if cake is not your preference, and by all
Brandt
means,
gets the other one.
we'll start cutting and get. Are you on it?
Is
She's
that
on
okay?
it. Yes, absolutely. Let's see. So. Oh, and for those who have not had a chance, when you start to get up and meander around, I thank you to everyone who brought photographs to put on the boards over here. We've got there's some pretty fun photographs over there. I think the humidity in here is making some of the double stick tape fail on us, but yeah. So, do you want to open a couple gifts while they're cutting cake? So if you guys can turn your chairs this way, sorry, if you want to turn your chairs this way a little bit, I'll go ahead and hand gifts over to Mom and she can open gifts right here. And that will be. Oh,
Actually, I'll go around the other side. It's
we do?
not good.
Purple.
Hey, I recognize this ribbon. I think. I recognize the ribbon and the stuff in the middle.
Oh, no.
Where's your balloon?
Here, I'm gonna get one here for him, right here.
Pass it around. I'll keep
gave
all
it
the
to
stuff in the
Audrey.
middle. Because otherwise you'll have to sweep it up out of here.
I had to sit there trying to figure out how to tie this. Okay.
It didn't matter if it wasn't my house. I'll get this up. This is pretty cool. Anybody got any checkers? For being old.
I don't want to be old. Don't say until.
Get the balloon.
I know it. You know, I gotta tell you a story. We were renting our apartment to a young guy who was, 21, something like that. And he was walking around taking pictures. I told him, move over, he's taking pictures for his mom. And he looked at me and he said, it's okay, I'm just gonna tell my mom that those are the elderly people I'm renting from. I went home and told Pete, this was probably about 8 years ago. I told Pete, I don't mind being old, but I don't wanna be elderly.
Don't hurry, Sherry.
Don't hurry.
Being old.
Okay.
This tip is from our grandma Lillian Kidwell. It's not, growing old is not for wimps.
That's for sure. Oh, look at this. How cute is that?
You gotta stuff it.
And stand them in the yard?
Or in your porch.
Stuff them with leaves or something?
The 4th of
It's a-
July, how she decorates.
Oh, it's for the 4th of
My
July.
guy.
And it's about a
Let's see. I can't see anyway. What is it?
It's a,
I can't see how big it is. But look, on the 4th of July, you'll see how big it is.
let me take it a minute, tell you what.
No, it's a bag of stuff. It's a Uncle Sam.
It's a yard decoration.
Yeah, Uncle Sam yard decoration.
It's got legs and arms.
Isn't that cute?
Oh, he can hang on the porch maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Where you stuff it. Is this your balloon?
Well, I know, but you can hang on the porch. Just stuff it. Yeah, just stuff it.
All your grocery bags. Plastic grocery bags.
We use ours.
No, I got tons of them.
You got lots?
Lots.
Okay. I even save them in Mexico for Sandy for doggy bags. Yeah.
I have lots of these.
Okay, I don't have those either. I keep waving at Jerry, but he never looks over when I'm waving at him. I keep waving at you, but you never look when I'm waving at you.
I usually save them.
Do you need another gift? We have one other little piece of entertainment that we're pulling together of it right now, so.
He's got 2 of them.
Oh, I think I know who this is from.
Cake on that. Look at they're already doing it.
And is that is so cute. This is what, when you were at my house, Daddy's house, now you do it by yourself. Cake?
Sure. Thank you. Thank you very much.
From you and Mima? All right. Oh, this is for the 4th of July too. Look at here. You'll see that at my house on the 4th of July, won't you? Everybody knows where we go on the 4th of July. We go to a parade. Don't see her, but that's where she is. Yeah, that's what you know. Oh,
Good cake.
I like that one.
Yeah, because of the break.
After the 4th of July, though, we can go to Eastern Washington for a while.
Max is good on his flags. How's he doing? Not so good.
It'll be nice anyway.
He was.
That's the one that I got for you.
I can try it a little bit more than we did last year. Maybe make sure we don't have mice in here.
We gotta tighten this up. Yeah. Proud to be in America. And you know what? Your daddy
It's really good, isn't it?
that fought for our country. No, your daddy. Your daddy. Grandpa too. Grandpa too. And grandpa. Thank you. Okay. Me to take a break? Okay. I gotta go find my drink.
This was supposed to be a heart, everybody. Me and Randy made it for Jerry.
Okay, I don't know. Oh, wait, here's a stick.
Yeah, we'll give Steve,
So-
you might want to watch out.
Anyone who's ever received emails from mom, she always signs it the Mexicans when they're in Baja. So, what's a birthday party without a piñata?
Whack it! Whack it!
There, boy. Funny balloon.
Oh, he figured it out.
Let's see a few of these items that are in this
Denture
piñata.
cleanser,
Denture cleanser,
a leaf,
a leaf,
alcohol prep pads. Whoa. I think I better put some of these up. You want to take some of these?
I think we've got some ibuprofen, some Gold Bond foot powder.
That's for my kid. Oh,
This was the funny one Randy wanted to put in here was these.
couple pairs of reader glasses and Tums.
This looks like a flashlight, a thin little skinny flashlight. Kleenex, I needed those earlier. Shower caps. Oh, and that's for my kitty too? Okay, this is for my kitty. Should we pick up the kitty? First aid? Let go. Whoa! I bet we can find
Here,
a paper
you better have
plate.
one of these. And you can have one piece of candy, okay? Here you go. There you go. You're good.
Okay. Put the candy in here.
We need something to put it in.
Here.
Yeah? It's all gonna fit on here?
Well, let's try it. Hair clips.
Oh, here, you take one. Here, you can have one. There you go. Okay, take a sucker. Okay, 2 suckers.